Hello and welcome back for our level 10 episode of A Shift in Time. Hope you're all having a good day. Another day, another sewer entrance in House Beneath. This time the Spies in the House is on the agenda. Let's have a quick look where we're at with the enhancements. Just to mention, I forgot to mention in the ninth episode, the feat we took was the nice one that you can get from having a past life wizard. One wizard past life gives you the option to take the Arcane Initiate feat, which gives you a +1 on all spell DCs. Given that once we get to where we're going at the cap, we're going to be hoping to make use of, mainly evocation, of course, but we're going to be hoping to make use of spells from necromancy, transmutation, and illusion as well. So to have one on all is pretty beneficial. If you don't have that, don't worry too much. You could put +1 evocation instead, spell focus evocation, and broadly speaking that would be almost as good depending on which spells you decide to favour. Enhancements then, Season's Herald, I mentioned already, we've more or less got what we wanted. I added the Autumn Winds for the Always On Featherfall, so I'm not messing about switching items over. I have a terrible habit of having crippling falls through forgetting that I'm running without Featherfall, so Always On works for me. We've pushed higher in the Feydark tree, another wisdom there, and these cores, remember, are nice for us, 5 force and 5 universal spell power. At the moment particularly we're invested heavily in force between the Flame Strike, which has half force according to the wiki, Thorn Bloom, which is all force, and Salt Ray, the same. Greater Colour Spray, I've not had the chance to test it yet, just picked it up on taking level 10, so that'll be nice. Now that's going to replace the Howl because it's obviously much less expensive. We can put Quicken on it for free and it's costing only 4 a time against 30, so it's a no-brainer. That's what we're going to use from now on. But the takeaway from Howl is that if you're like me and you have a crazy amount of racial points to spend and you're doing a TR as a shifter, then that's pretty good down in the lower levels for crowd control if you have nothing else. I know some people just would just smash everything up without bothering with the crowd control, and that's fine too, but we didn't have that luxury. Mostly because I refused to use the animal form when we were in the low levels. Totally should have done that. A bear or a wolf would have made it a lot easier for me, I'm sure, but as a caster I just didn't want to do that. Okay, so yes, picked up Greater Colour Spray, it's there on the bar. Aside from that, spell wise, I think we've just gone for some buffs here, haven't we? I could have tried Thorn Bloom. No, sorry, Thorn Bloom is what we've got. Thorn Wave I could have tried, but that looks like a sort of a hurl of things in front of us. Now it has a higher caster level, max caster level rather than Thorn Bloom, but at the moment sort of centered on us suits me because we're tending to go into the middle of a pile, aren't we, and trigger this Flame Strike. I've put Quicken on there, by the way, because I'm not satisfied with the sort of trigger it and wait and everything's moved away from the target area by the time it comes down. So no, I want some quick decimation with that. That one's okay, that's fairly fast cast. I just like the fact it's centered on us at the moment. If I was playing at the cap it would be a different matter. I don't really like to be in the middle of everything. So yes, buffs and helpful things. Probably looking towards the future here as well. There wasn't anything too much that I wanted offensively here, so we've gone for Death Ward, so I'm not having to bother clicking the clickable we've got for that. I can just press it and forget about it. Panacea is excellent for getting rid of any stat damage or diseased, exhausted, all that kind of thing. I just like having one key. I mean, the potions are perfectly good, no problem with them at all. I just like having one key to do it all. And the potions obviously don't cater for several levels of stat damage. Reincarnate, just for later. Actually, I haven't even got the ingredients for that, have I? So hopefully nobody will group with me that dies. I do have a 100 raised dead scrolls that I'm carrying, so we're not completely useless on that score. Speaking of Druid ingredients, I wandered round aimlessly for a bit trying to find a shop that would sell them. Feathers Fall Apothecary in Jurasco is the answer to that for all your ingredient needs. Finally got the ingredients for the for the freedom of movement, which I now don't need because we have it on our boots for the moment. These nice level 10 boots from Death House in Ravenloft. Where was I? Spells. I hadn't finished with the spells, had I? So we took mainly buffs and nice things out of there. The freedom of movement in here. We eventually get freedom of movement mass, which is very nice to have because I do quite like to use the sleet storm, which, if you didn't know, affects party members as well and can cause quite some problems if your party members haven't got freedom of movement. So just throwing the freedom of movement mass in at the start is a great way to avoid such an issue. Why do I like this? Well, it's unlike a lot of the crowd control in Reaper. It lasts for a very long time, and although it doesn't do damage, it does trigger the element of the Mantle of Icy Soul, which is our Druid water form, which we'll be using later on. So anything that passes through that gets -4 reflex saves and -4 fortitude save. Now, as we're going to try and make use of Finger of Death and an abundance of evocation spells that have reflex saves, that's going to be quite good for us. The other one I like to use to trigger that same thing is the Ice Storm, a much faster cast. I use them both to block up doorways and force opponents to sort of funnel through there towards me. Okay, so yeah, Sleet Storm was another one that we picked up. I've upgraded the heals, so we've got... it's about time, isn't it, really? We were on Lesser Vigour and Cure Moderate. We're on Vigour and Cure Serious now. Gear-wise, I've had a bit of an overhaul. We have actually got a half decent set bonus from Ravenloft, the 3-piece caster set. So that's the robe, which actually comes with a shield bonus, and our armor class now has been bumped up to a pretty impressive 97 in robes. That's with all his martial past lives. For those of you who don't know, at the very start of the life, then at 10, 20 and 30, I think, you get extra bonuses for having those. So he's just been the beneficiary of some extra AC, and as we can see there, he has a very healthy chance to make opponents miss with that. So that's great. That's in addition to the miss chance from the lesser displacement that he's getting from his shifter tree at the moment while raging. So that's very nice to have too, if you've got the racial points to spend in there. Otherwise, I bit the bullet and took the Suncatcher off purple, so he's now without some gear. So that's given us an extra 2 profane on our DCs. I didn't have anything compelling to put in the next slot, so I've left the Amber Pendant in. The Spell Focus Mastery, three of those is nice, although it's not actually. It's almost irrelevant because almost everything we're doing at the moment is evocation, and we have these Kenneth crafted evocation 5 goggles here, so that is pretty well irrelevant because we're not casting... Is that... Oh, that's a conjuration, Thornbloom, so it's helping with that. And that one is evocation, isn't it? I think all of these will be evocation, so... But there is an illusion there, the greater colour spray. Okay, so it's semi-relevant. I've left that in the trinket, 1 profane bonus to all stats, because I couldn't find anything more compelling to put. We've gone for the lightning on the belt, part of the 3-piece Ravenloft set, so that's taking care of lightning spell power and crit. And the gloves, the other part of the 3-piece set, not amazing item, but just completes the set, and a resistance bonus to saves there with the augment slot. This is taking care of all our spell powers, broadly speaking. There's just no crit chance there, so the ones I want crit on, I've had to equip an item. So we've got the fire on the caster stick here, we've got the lightning on the belt, and on the ring here we've got force, crit chance, kinetic law. I think that's about it. Braces I've upgraded, just a nice defensive item, extra bonuses to saves and dodge. Dodge, we're running at the cap at the moment, we've got 12 dodge. Reaper trees level 10, you obviously put the second tier in. I'm in a very nice position that I can just chuck everything into these 2 trees, knowing that he has enough points to max them both out. That's a result of spending extensive amounts of time at the cap. He was at the cap for ages last time, and you'd be surprised how quickly the Reaper points accrue when you spend a time there. I won't belabor the point, but it is true. Even if you've done you got the first time bonuses, you can still get some tasty Reaper XP if that's your thing. It's just a change of pace as well, something a bit different, pushing the limits and seeing how far your build can go, having some nice times in the groups, tackling some of the tougher difficulty levels. Okay, I think that's about it for the gear and whatnot. So yeah, we're in a pretty healthy situation, at least we were before we stepped into this quest. Riddled with traps and the old Mario section as well, just to add extra pain for me. I can get rid of the bottle there, can't I? Jump will be handy in here. What do we need from these? Probably all 4 maybe. So you can notice on here as well the effect of our season. The fire one is lasting 12 minutes, whereas the others are only lasting for 10, because our season's giving us 2 extra caster levels on fire. So in Reaper now we have a 49 on the Flame Strike, which is not terrible at all, and a 49 on Greater Colour Spray, so pretty decent, I would say. Actually, with the Rage on, that's gone up to a 51, so that's very good for mid-heroic, unless you happen to be a Dragon Lord, as I keep saying. Then I guess it's just standard fare.
Icy tendrils of biting cold swirl around you.
Now we're getting to the stage. Oh, whoa, 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 what did I just do there? Did I press the wrong key? What just came out there? Like some kind of ice effect. I honestly don't know what I did. I'll have to watch that back. I must have pressed the wrong key. I was trying to do a single target thing. This salt ray, by the way, the speed of it and the It's very effective for neutralizing nasty targets if it doesn't kill them outright at this level. Just a really nice stun. Sadly for us it doesn't work on Reapers, but we have greater colour spray for that. I think we've got some element of lag here. Should have stopped and killed that thing immediately, didn't do it. That was a bit of a shambles. Come on, to date. So because a lot of our stuff is not quickened, I'm seeing concentration checks down at the bottom there. So Featherfall is always on. We've got a decent jump. There are, I'm sure, easier ways where you don't need a decent jump score to get up here, but this is just the one I memorized. Took me a long old time to be able to do this one with any degree of consistency. There's one section in particular that I really found difficult. There's a section where you're transferring onto an electric flooring and there's like a stutter as you jump, and I just didn't know what to do with it. Not doing too bad. When the crits come, it tends to be a one shot, doesn't it, which is lovely. I've seen the Salt Ray. Remember, it's fully meted, it's a spell-like ability. I've seen the Salt Ray crit for around 1,000, which has been nice.
You hear a prisoner's voice calling for help. Thorax runs off across the bridge and disappears in the pit.
I think there's a trap on here that might try and throw us back down, might it? Let's just... Or is that only in Epic there's a trap there? I can't quite remember. I think we've got a good use for the old flame strike coming up. If this ain't a flame strike, then I don't know what is. I guess the purists would probably run past this, but I don't particularly like having dungeon alert, so I'll take it steady. Thorn Bloom, maybe? Okay, lovely stuff. It does chew up the mana a bit with that being quickened. What is it, 30? I do have the option of
You hear a prisoner's voice calling out to you.
Making quicken cheaper in the Season's Herald tree. But up to now I haven't taken any of those meta magic reduction things. When we rejig things for play at the... What happened there? Okay, a little bit of a delay there, just a little. When we rejig things for play at the cap, as mentioned before, I think I'll take everything out of the spell-like abilities and use those points to make my meta magics cheaper.
Aaron runs down the tunnel, back to the ladder, and disappears from sight.
Use or lose? Are we going to use? Yeah, let's not risk anything. It would have been just like me to run on and then towards the back end of the quest realise I had nothing left. else do we have to do? Did I hope I didn't forget my shift when I first stepped in. I think I probably did.
Touching them would be
Got to start remembering that, because that's going to be at the centre of everything that we're going to be doing. It's going to be a big source of temporary hit points as well at the cap if everything works out as it's supposed to. So I must get into the habit of using that much better than has been the case up to now.
You hear a fell voice whispering orders on the still air, followed by a clattering, obedient bones.
That's sort of my bread and butter, the
Grinding of metal
flame strike followed by thorn bloom. Come on, today. Right, that was a bit rubbish. Why was that so slow? It's got all the metas on. Maybe it's just a bit slow to wind up the greater colour spray.
You hear a metal portcullis slide open in the distance.
Oh, a couple of very nice crits there. Oh, a couple of little freezers. Right, now can we just get all these together? Now the colour spray does cause helpless, the greater colour spray, so we should be seeing bonus damage against things we've hit, although it helps if you don't do fire attacks against fire opponents there. I guess the flame strike is only half a fire attack, so at least it does something to them.
hear a woman's voice asking for help up above.
Kaylan deftly climbs her way out of the sewer, pausing once to look back and wave
Right, we're
her
coming
belt.
up on the point where I always had terrible trouble. I had to literally stop and follow a recording, like move for move. So we're gonna go through this air jet and onto that electric floor above us. But there's like a jittery moment. You have to keep pushing forward through that. See, it all went all strange there. You just keep the W key pressed down and you should be alright through there. You know, one day I'll stop firing fire attacks against fire opponents. I've done it again. Good God.
You hear a fresh gust of air escaping the pipes near the ceiling.
I think it's just because I'm in that sort of mentality. Well, 1 to 4 are your basic attacks. Oh, but wait a minute. One's not going to do anything. I'm a bit like that with the word of balance when that comes. Amazing against Reapers and such things, but against, actually, ironically, against these as well, these elementals who are completely neutral, no effect at all. And the number of times I just trigger it and don't register that kind of thing. Same for the instant kill spells. It takes me quite some time to adjust to the various parameters, like Finger of Death needs using on casters and archers with low fort saves, whereas the will one, the Trap the Soul that I had on Purple Sorcerer, works nicely against the beefy targets that are not particularly affected by the standard Finger of Death. Should have invised through there, that's another real mistake. Oh, it helps if you pull the valve. And if you don't let the trance run out, or the, no, it's not the trance, is it? It's the rage. I've never managed to get the breakable bonus in here. Is it because you need those two to get it, or are there some, maybe there are some squirreled away that I don't know about? If one of you knows, if there's like an easy, because it's a big XP quest, so to have the breakable bonus would be nice here. Right, I thought we could just go quickly to the Gatekeeper Grove. I say quickly, my UMD is pretty poor at the moment, so we may not go quickly. I should have swapped. I've got some glasses here with the beginner glasses I have with persuasion, which would have helped. So if I'd have had them and the greater heroism, I suddenly have a fairly decent chance to cast that teleport scroll, but without it I think I'm down below 50. Right, let's do some Temple of Elemental Eviling. No DDO here, so certain elements are going to be a bit rougher, I guess, for us. Since it's been recently updated, there's some nice loot to be had in this chain. I think there are some goggles at the end of this one, aren't there? Various types. I'm thinking of the, well, there's a caster and oh, the Reaper didn't get stunned. Actually, I could have just done the spell and not bothered with the crowd control. Oh my god, yeah. That's do that again. Can you do that again down there? We'll take it. Come on, today. I think we have a little bit of lag here, yes. I haven't, oh yeah, I have got that on. I'm not checking the side rooms. If something comes after me, it comes after me. I think this is somewhat of a YOLO. Oh, go away.
On the wall above this room is a small etching in the shape of a cube.
Come on. Of the was he out of range, or had I been made helpless by the song? I can't quite figure that. Oh, well done. Colour spray against undead, that's always a recipe for success, isn't it? Not. I suppose the blind element did help. Okay, do we need some... Yeah, we do have been chucking about the flame strike too much. We do need a shrine. Still, they're here for a reason, and it made for some entertaining boom boom gameplay. So yeah, when the flame strike comes at level... Sorry, yeah, character level 7, it's the caster level 4, isn't it? That's when things begin to really take off, I think, for this build. But even before that, we've found this thorn bloom to be pretty effective. The only downside to that, of course, is you have to be in the middle of all the stuff to be making best use of it. I'm hoping if I don't loiter near any of these side doors, nothing nasty will come out. You gotta love that. Oh, I think we'll have to stop here. These are definitely going to come out, aren't they? Do another one. Yeah. That was not targeting the thing again. I was just pressing the attacks. I didn't have it tab targeted, so a couple of spells missed because of that. Oh my god. Please, people, please. Don't tell me, let me guess. Nope. Oh, they're down there. That was a Star Trek job, that. Beamers in.
A pair of guards fumble with on the wall above this room is a small etching in the shape of a key.
It's quite immersive as well, all the especially all the lightning strikes flying around. I do like that. We did have a chance to get the core lightning. No, this is core lightning, isn't it? What's it called? The level 5 thing. Where is it? Core lightning storm, which is a nice one to use later on, but it has a very short duration at the moment because it scales up with character level. Or is it caster level? It scales up as you go up anyway. I think it gets to about a minute and a half when you reach the cap. So I chose not to take it for now.
This enormous hall is much wider than many of the others you've seen in the temple. The sound of stone grind. A belligerent cleric stands atop a stone
Right.
altar in the center of this chamber.
On the legendary levels, I really like to have these one at a time because they are nasty. Here I don't suppose it matters as much. Oh, come on, just die already.
His elementals have failed. The cleric drops his magical wards to attack. Romance.
Finish with a flourish.
The Earth Temple falls silent.
Ah, that's one of them. That would be the tanky one, wouldn't it?
Earth Temple key begins to quiver and shake. It seems strangely drawn to the south.
Oh, a random fountain. Okay. What did that do? Heavy gravity. You feel repressed. Oh, okay, that's not so great, is it?
This magical barrier glows a sickly. The barrier dissipates, opening the stairway.
Still, I think the flame strike is doing more than enough of the heavy lifting for us, isn't it? How far can... Oh, it can go as far as... So it's normally capped at 15. So that's good to know. So it's still got some room to grow. I think it's at 13 that we get the Firestorm spell, level 7 spell Firestorm. And it's just all fits in nice because that's when you get your first elemental form. I strongly recommend any of you who are new to the Druid to go with the fire form first and then the cold later. Just simply because you get the strong fire spells first. So from 13 we can have Firestorm and Flame Strike, and we're going to be... I'm looking forward to it, put it that way. I have some distant memories of going marching through Epic with those two. Although by the time we reach Epic, of course, we'll be in cold spells again. Marching through mid-heroic, we can say. That Firestorm is quite the pack clearer. In fact, if any of you out there has played a caster druid at the cap as a fire, I'd be more than happy to hear from you, because that's not something I've tried, and I'd quite like to know what you thought of it, how it played, especially if you've also played the cold. Oh my god! Happy days, people, happy days. Fire Temple, okay. I'm sure I'm going to do at least one against a fire target that I shouldn't do. Oh my goodness me. That's just a thing of beauty.
Come in, follower of flame.
For those of you who have plenty of platinum, one of the bear party mentioned to me you can just pay the maximum donation here at the altar and avoid all the fighting and just take the... Of course you don't get the chest that way, but neither do you get all the hassle, and the hassle is quite significant, not so much on this level, but on the legendary. When you get all that stuff popping up, it can be pretty nasty, so to just bypass it like that is well, as I like to say, the path of least resistance. Speaking of the legendary level, I would always DDO out of this cube chamber. Just take the key and get out. But are we actually going to have a DDO at the cap? I don't think we are. No. Well, that's going to be an issue. We'll have to send another sacrificial lamb in here to do this bit at the cap. Or maybe we could cheat it and use, what's his name? Oh, he's immune to all the lightning. We could use, what's his name, the level 11 fighter that I keep forgetting about for the DDO. Is it Magnus? I can't remember. Anyway, I'm sure any of you who's played long enough will know about him. As we don't get a DDO, we'll be reacquainting ourselves with him when we get to that stage. most of the stuff is quickened that I'm throwing, the 3 SLAs, but that core lightning isn't the standard core lightning. That's why we keep seeing concentration checks down at the bottom. Oh, boom. Can we just get out of here? Didn't target it again, paid the price. Okay, it's up this way, isn't it? I'm constantly getting disoriented in this one since they changed, since they broke down the original part 1 into 2 parts and changed the start point as well. It's very easy to have me confused in the quest direction wise. Just do something slightly different to what I'm used to and I'm all over the place. Now this door can definitely open sometimes without me doing anything with it, so I have to be aware of that. Did that just, I think one of the spells there just went into the ether. That was a nice little colour of the Queen trigger. Did you see that? 2,500. I'll take that. Come on.
A man in air temple robes stands.
To be aware of these methods behind. I tried to... Oh, I was going to say I tried to do the AoE, the flame strike there, and nothing happened. It did happen, just very much later.
On the wall above this room is a small etching in the shape of a key.
So now, Panacea. Get rid of all the poison and all the rest. Have a nice little heal as well. So what does it... It's, the only thing it doesn't do is the curses. It does blindness, disease, poison, and any of the fatigue things, as well as stat damage. Super little spell that to have around. Especially in the legendary content, if you're in the middle of a pitched battle and you suddenly find yourself with something crippling, you can just, as long as you're not completely helpless, you can just hit that and get going again. Is he immune to lightning? Okay, that's a problem. Let's give him some of this then. Most people would go back to the start at this point and take the easy way. I'm just so used to the way I used to go that I'm going to have to continue to do this way towards the end. It never gets old, that. Go on, let's do it again. Fail, 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 fail. It's got a nice tasty AoE on it, that thing. As I learned to my cost when the opponents use it. I've had some really nasty times against, is it the hobgoblin casters in the steam tunnels that start out using that? Oh, it can be devastating. You do get a warning, don't you? There's like a little flame effect over the caster. Crikey, that was a monster pack. Hit me for a long time of helpless there. Any more for any more? Nope. Okay.
The stony visages in this room suggest this is the entryway to Falrinth's chambers. The wizard Falrinth floats high above this chamber.
Now this fella,
Why you have come.
on occasion, just decides not to come down for whatever reason. So for the poor melee, it's a bit rough. I don't know what triggers him to go down or not, but oh, he's in his element, isn't he? If you didn't know, if you haven't done this quest too often, like here, we're in water and that elemental is in the water. If it's in its own element, you can't harm it. You have to wait until, like now, when it comes out. Yeah, see, he's not coming down. Oh, he has now. Okay,
Falrinth motions
nice.
wildly, attempting to invoke a complex spell. But he never completes the gesture. His fight is already over. Falrinth's chambers are dimly lit. On a table in the middle of the room sit a book. If Falrinth's journal is to be believed, the demon Zuggetmore has nearly been freed.
How not to pick up an orb of golden death. Oh my god. Let's try the interact with. There we go. And there could be some people behind us, couldn't there? Yes. Oh, hello. To spoil my quest ending. Miserable creatures. Oh, well, I'm glad I mentioned the goggles now. We've ended up with 2 of them. That's obviously a really good one for a ranged. And there is an equivalent for melee, which I think drops in the first quest of the chain where we found the Earth Guardian lenses. But really nice items at level. And in fact, my ranged character Red uses that item at the cap, the legendary version. Please tell me I actually looted the chest. Yeah. Okay. Right, I think that about does it. Obviously I've not pushed the boat out difficulty wise, so no real achievement there, but we can see the AOE side of things is going very nicely. Now we've got this flame strike, no problem at all to deal with packs of things. And if we did have things that needed more than one shot to take care of, we have the colour spray now against reapers and that kind of thing. So I think we're in a fairly good situation. These single target things, I mean the flame one is falling off a little bit now. It shouldn't be though, because I've just noticed it's got a high max caster level. The lightning is still pretty hot, although we're in the wrong season really to help that. And this one, although it's supposed to be just a crowd control-y thing, and that's how it is at the cap, but it's hitting pretty hard. I think we can see there we've reached the max level for that though, so I guess that's going to tail off as we go a bit further. Okay, I think that about does it for this one. Thanks very much as always for looking, and I'll speak to you next time. Take care.